Yo, welcome back. It's Dan from Typology Gifts. It's my cake day today, so that's why I'm making lots of videos responding to Reddit content in the INFJ subreddit. I might jump over to a few other MBTI subreddits, but for now, I wanted to jump into an interesting post I found. It says, "Let's be honest." So this post is from Mr. Mondrain. Uh, and wow, it's a little bit of an older post. I found this in the controversial tab. So, all right, 6-month-old post. Here we go. Necro posting here. But I liked it. I thought this was interesting to talk about. So, the title says, "Let's be honest here. Most of us are probably mistyped or misidentifying ourselves. In theory, r/INFJ should have fewer subs than r/ISFJ, but we have 9 times as many." And then Mr. Mondrian says ISFJs are one of the most abundant types, while INFJs are considered to be rare. I think a lot of people here identify with INFJ because they don't want to be the normal type or the boring type, instead opting to be the rarest type. But lying to yourself doesn't make it true. I encourage everyone here to take a test exclusively looking at sensing versus intuition and be completely honest with yourself. There's nothing wrong with being a sensor. I myself am probably a sensor. It comes with strengths and weaknesses. Being a sensor does not make you boring or like everyone else. This person says everyone's made valid points and they see where they could be wrong. So before I jump into what people's comments were on this, I'm going to sort of predict what I think the comments are probably going to say. There's a few things going on here. One, are INFJs significantly rarer than ISFJs? Probably. I think the Myers-Briggs people are probably onto something there. Doesn't mean that INFJs are more special than ISFJs, just that they're more rare. But why would the INFJ subreddit have 9 times as many subscribers as the ISFJ subreddit? Well, think about the INFJ cognitive functions: introverted intuition, extroverted feeling. There's a great deal of curiosity that comes along with being an introverted intuitive Dom, and a great deal, especially, of curiosity around people and understanding people. And due to low introverted feeling preference, a great deal of confusion about one's own self, kind of. My best friend is an ISFJ, and he didn't struggle with the identity issues that I have. He knows his place in the world. He's comfortable with it, and he makes his path through life. And introverted sensing, I think, is more focused on what is there, not necessarily on what is not there. And so, for that reason, he is kind of perfectly content with not theorizing necessarily about the world, but more about thinking and processing and contemplating, what to do next based on where he's been. Not necessarily theorizing. He's much more practical than I am. You take that as a big aspect. Also, INFJs are kind of really attracted to psychology communities about people and about how brains work and things like that. So they are kind of anecdotally known as like the type in the MBTI community that is most interested in MBTI, because there's a lot still we don't know and a lot we don't understand. Like, the jury's out on a lot of this stuff. There's still a lot of experimentation and thinking and reading and researching going on. So there's a lot of things to pique the curiosity of INFJs, where ISFJs aren't necessarily. I'm sure there are ISFJs that are interested in that, but not as much. They're probably more out like living their lives and focusing on like the practicalities of real life. As a consequence, I think that's probably why the subreddit numbers look like they do, because INFJs are kind of trapped in their own heads, and they're interested in people, and they're interested in thinking about the unknown. So they discover MBTI, they go, oh, this makes so much sense, I didn't understand this about myself, and it just kind of like is a rabbit hole that they go down. So I think those combination of things are probably why that's happening. Let's look at the comments and see what the INFJ community had to say about this, and let's see if what I just said fits. So the first comment here top comment says, I'd say out of the types, INFJ are one of, if not the most likely type to continue digging and end up on an INFJ subreddit. While yes, INFJs are the most mistyped type, it tends to be the other way to what you're thinking. INFJs are often typed as other types. Regardless, while I do feel there will be some that aren't truly INFJs, the majority of people in this subreddit are likely INFJs. Edit, also, I forgot, I vaguely remember hearing that the INFJ subreddit is the most populated of the MBTI subreddits, and because of this, many other types will also sub to INFJ just for the sake of MBTI discussion with the largest population. You see a lot of users of all types, all sorts of types floating around in here. Still, whether that's the case or not, it doesn't really affect the validity of my original point, but I feel it's worth mentioning. Yeah, that's a really good point. There's a lot of curiosity in general surrounding INFJ personality type, and that's not just from INFJs, that's from a lot of other people, because INFJs, I think, often feel misunderstood, and they want to be understood, so they post content that has to do with wanting to be understood. And other types might have a friend that's INFJ or dating an INFJ, and they want to better understand their INFJ because their perplexing behavior and paradoxical points of view. So I think if you mix all those things together, I don't think anyone's really super confused about the ISFJ like personality type. I don't think that there's a whole lot of mystery around that, and I think ISFJs would probably agree with that statement as well, which is that they're pretty what you see is what you get kind of people. Obviously, there's a lot more depth beneath the surface. They use introverted thinking a lot, and they have a lot going on in their brains. But what I mean to say is ISFJs with their introverted sensing leading is that they're going to be much more, let's say, have more conformist points of view as it relates to sensing. They're going to kind of not question the unknowns as much and more deal with the concrete realities that they've dealt with. So that's kind of, hopefully I've explained that well enough as far as my viewpoint on that, but maybe I'll talk about ISFJs again in the future video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting. And I know it's 6-month-old content that I've commented on here, but nevertheless, it's an interesting topic, people being mistyped and things, and I'm sure we're going to see it again in the future. Thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe to this video, and we'll see you in the next one.